All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it due to the fact that you can always go back and rewatch the past broadcast. Uh I don't know how many people we got in the YouTube channel. Look like we got about 6 in here so far. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday morning, man. Beautiful day. Hopefully y'all had a good Thanksgiving and everything. We're gonna start off with the first question, man. My man's Shizzle. Morning from Oregon. My man's all the way in Oregon, so it's got to be what, 8 o'clock for you. Uh, the first thing we got to cover with this new Lamar Jackson upgrade is how to stop these glitch quarterback keepers. All right, let's touch on that. Let's go ahead and touch on that. Let me go ahead and get the Ravens. What playbook is that you pulled up? I shizzle. What playbook is that you pulled up? And also, do you know exactly how to do the RPO keepers? I completely forgot how to do it. I've never done it. I was told how to do it, but I forgot how to do it. I think it's like pump fake or something like that. Okay, so they don't pump fake anymore. What playbook is it? What playbook are you specifically referring to? Is it Baltimore playbook or is it a different playbook that you're referring to right now? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I'm pretty. It has to be one in. It has to be one in Baltimore. So we're just gonna go with Baltimore for right now. Um. What? First things first. What I would say is I think one of the best things you can do is blitz them. The more people you have coming off the edge, the better. Because if you have people in zone or man, if you have your guys in man, then they're going to turn their backs to the quarterback. And what you have to do is start sending your zones. So you click in the right stick to start sending your players to the quarterback. So that's whether you're in zone or man. I think man is worse than zone because at least with zone, they're facing the quarterback. So then they're just going to run straight down. With man, they're going to run away from the quarterback, and then you're going to start sending people, and then it just increases the distance that they currently are from the quarterback. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But I think one of the best things you can do is blitz them. The more people you send, the better. If you know that they're doing it, if you know that they are, running the RPO glitch and stuff like that, send some people at them, man, because they cannot pass the ball with their quarterback. So that's once they start moving with their quarterback and all that, they can't do anything else. They can't pass it or anything like that, or they're gonna get a penalty. Lucky J, how you doing, bro? You all right? It's kind of weird because I'm doing it with 2 controllers, but the best thing you can do is blitz them, maybe even contain them, because the more people you send, they're going to go for the quarterback regardless. And because it's an RPO, one thing about RPOs, if you see it, they don't hold their blocks as well. RPOs don't hold their blocks as well. They get shedded a little bit faster. You can see everybody shedded right there pretty quickly on that play. So and if you can send an equal amount of people on each side, you see on the left side, he can't go anywhere if he even thinks about going. So he would have to try to outrun me to the right side. So you want to try to contain the quarterback in the pocket or whatever. Um, that's one of the best things you can do if you know it's coming, to blitz everybody. If you don't know it's coming and you're in zone or man, then your next best option is to start clicking in your right stick to send the zones the same way you would send a spy or a zone. That's the other way that you would try to keep the quarterback in the pocket, or stop him from getting a lot of yards. Just start sending every zone that you possibly can. Just keep clicking in the right stick, and then you try to fill the biggest hole imaginable. And so if he's running it to the right every time, then one thing you can do is try to contain him to the right side. One thing you can do is that right there. Contain him to the right side. So we sending 6 people. We sending that cornerback off the right side. So now what you can do, so now we're sending a cornerback off the edge, and it'd be even better if I baseline. So now let's say if I baseline the defense. Texans theme is not good. I'm not going to argue with you today, True. I'm not. Just not going to do it, buddy. I'm not. But so now if I baseline, see, now it's going to be a whole lot harder for that that tight end to give me, it creates more of a contain outside to where you can try to contain them in the pockets more. But the biggest thing is to go ahead and blitz them. Honestly, I don't think 3-5 wide is the best, but I know most people run 3-5 wide. So that's why I said it. I think something more symmetrical, like a 4-3 even, maybe spread your linebackers, blitz 6, or you can't really run a dollar because it's you'll get weak boxed. Okay, so if you run 4-3 even, then okay, cool. Let's just I'm not in the book that has 4-3 even, but let's just say 4-6. 4-4 was 4-3 even. So we're just gonna assume that 4-4 was 4-3 even, right? One thing you can do is spread the linebackers, right? Like so. Just assume that this linebacker is a safety and backed up. Let's just play it like that. All right. So this is more of a similar look to what 4-3 even looks like. And so now you blitzing more people. He can't really get off the left side because he doesn't have a tight end over there. He'd have to motion a tight end over to this side to stop this guy. So your biggest problem is the strong side. Like you said, he was running to the right the whole time. So you can grab this guy here, slide him out some, contain. Now the end is going to contain, right? Now that end is going to contain. This linebacker here is going to blitz off the edge. Then there's your defense. So this is a kind of a similar look. If you want to get even better, you can spread your defensive line. Make it even harder for him to get outside. You want him to come back towards the middle. That's really where you want him to do. You want him to come back towards the middle, towards your user, and have to deal with, taking his quarterback up the middle and taking hit sticks and stuff like that. That's really what you want. So now, I'm trying to do this with 2 controllers. It feels weird, but you kind of get does that make sense what I'm saying though? And then you just have to, what you would need to do is find the lane for you to shoot. And it looks like there's a gap right here where you can shoot this gap. So like, because this center is looking, he's not even paying me any attention. He's like, I don't even exist to him. So there was a gap right here because the guard in the center is going to double team that D tackle. So there's a gap right here. Oh, that was a guard and the tackle, my bad. The guard and the tackle are gonna they're gonna double team. So you have a lane where you can shoot that gap. And once you shoot that gap, you here in the backfield. And then only place for him to go is to cut back towards your blitz inside. But blitz more people and then send your zones in is the 2 best things you can do. First things first is blitz them. Second, after that, if you weren't prepared for it, start clicking in your zones, and that's the next best option. My man Scorps in the Discord said, in your opinion, what is the best playbook for a bunch user and why? I'm new to the Madden 22 competitive scene. The best playbook for a bunch user, in my opinion, is, and I'm gonna pick the actual playbook, is Indy or Philadelphia playbook. They're the same exact playbook. So either one of those playbooks, you cannot go wrong with either one. Both of them are really good options. Both of them are really, really good options. You know, it's like I said, it's the same book. Carolina is a really good one as well. Carolina is good, but I think the best one is Indy. And the reason why I think the best one is Indy is because, one, not only do you have an inside zone, but you have a read option. And for a lot of defenses, they can shoot read option, but they can't shoot the inside zone, or vice versa. They can shoot the inside zone, but can't shoot the read option. So that's one. So you have a run option. That's first off, that makes it good. Secondly, you have, I mean, every bunch really has vertical, so that's not really a thing. But you have, okay, this PA replay, which is, you have a deep post from your B receiver. So that means you have a bomb option going towards the opposite of the bunch side. All right, so that's one good thing about this playbook. You have this play here, speed dig. This dig route is really, really good. It's a really good option. It's really tough to guard, and it's tough to user. And then you can't just man it up. It just wins. It's going to beat man coverage and stuff like that. Then you have this play here, double post, a really, really good play, but it's also in Carolina playbook. But the speed dig play is not in Carolina playbook. You have mesh post, which is a good play, as a staple to the gun bunch offense. Has been really, really good, for years. And it's that mesh wheel route that really makes it work. In Carolina, they have a play called mesh, which is good because you got a wheel route to the running back and the tight end. Mesh spot is what it's called. So that play is really, really good. So you really can't go wrong with either playbook. But me, because of the read option, I think the read option sets it off, because the read option is really, really hard when it comes to like gap shoots and stuff like that and being able to blow up the run. The read option is one of the hardest things to stop. Lando Lakes, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Hey, yeah, in true Texas, no. The Texans team is not it. All right, it's not it. It's Raiders. Okay, the Raiders the best. Adjust. Perfect Go. How you doing? Lando Lakes, how do you back off a cornerback without clicking on him? Let me show you how to do that. And the beauty of that now, you can do it with your global adjustments, Lando Lakes. You didn't used to be able to do it when you baseline, but now you can do it with baseline, which is it's amazing. It's amazing that now you can do it while baseline as well. So you can baseline. What did I just pick? Oops, I think I want the mud. Yeah, the tight end routes from Verse and stuff like that. The tight end wheel routes are a pain to have to deal with, because it's like it just hits a certain spot in certain area in the zone that makes it to where it's just so hard to deal with. And it's like you got to man them up and all that other stuff. But the best thing you can do is put a vert hook there. Put a deep, have your zone drops, your hook curls on default, and the default yellow zones will play the tight end wheel routes really, really good. So that's your best bet. If you want to take away a tight end wheel route, put a vert hook on that side on default. All right. How to stop gun bunch, how to stop corner routes. All right. Blitzes that work on current gen. Jonas, I am not sure. Anybody in the chat in current gen? Anybody playing Madden on current gen? I would assume that 335 wide works, Jonas. I think 335 wide works. I think I was told that works, but I don't know what all works on current gen. I have not played current gen Madden, so I don't have a solid answer for you. What playbook was I looking for? All right. So, Lando Lakes, let me show you how to do this, son. So this doesn't matter whether you baseline or not. I'm going to baseline because I feel like baseline is the best way to play defense right now. All right, so what you do is you press Y for coverage adjustments. Then you press A or X on PlayStation for individual. And so then you have to pick the cornerback. You pick it depending on the receiver that you're trying to back him up on. So we're trying to back up the guy standing over Mike Evans. So you press X for Mike Evans, and then you press up on the right stick. Boom. That boy will back up. The rest of your defense stays pressed. The fact that they've added it to where you can now do it while baseline is the best thing ever. It makes it so much better for being able to play defense and stuff like that. So I like it so much better like this than I did the other way around. So yeah, you just do it just like this, man. You just back them up, globally back them up by pressing the coverage adjustments. Coverage adjustments is triangle on PlayStation. I'm not sure what system you're on, but that's how you do it. And then, so my man's Too Cold MB. Dang, that's a dot, chat. But anyway, my man's Too Cold MB asking how to stop corner routes. There's no like cookie cutter way to stop bunch. I can't say this is how you stop bunch. It's anticipation, and really it depends on your opponent. Because your opponent, you might go against one opponent that never runs a corner route and you can't stop him. Then you might go against one opponent that runs nothing but corner routes. So it really does depend on the opponent, on how to stop bunch, on how to stop anything. Like you have to really, it's really like just your attention to detail, your attention to their tendencies and what they like to do on the game and how you adjust to that. But how to stop corner routes. All right, there's several different ways that you would stop some corner routes. One of the things you can do if you know a corner route is coming, man them up. So let's say you know the corner route is coming from RB, right? One thing you would want to do is something like that. Maybe man him up and then also have a flat zone on his side. All right. If you got like a cloud flat on your outside corner, and then you can set your zone drops. So let's say it's a deeper corner route. You can set your zone drops to 20. Set your flats to 20. A 20-yard flat will typically take away almost every corner route that somebody's going to run from gun bunch. Almost every corner route is going to be taken away with a 20-yard flat. Just by having set your zone drops. Are you aware of how to set your zone drops to go? But you can combo for sure. You definitely can combo by manning him up, man up the corner route, and then also have a cloud. And this is a cloud that's on default. So let me go ahead and let me put this guy on a corner route, right? All right. So we getting some press action. Now, if I wasn't using two controllers, then I would have been able to click on and pick that off. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that throw, you know, it makes it really tough. So just that little combination right there makes it tough alone to make that throw and be able to, you know, complete that pass. So you know, it's definitely some different options that you can do. The other thing you can do is blitz them, or another thing you can do is run match. You can run match, and match will take away a corner out. So like, let's say, for example, let me find a. All right, cover 6 is a match concept, right? So this outside quarter, because we're running cover 6 and cover 6 is a match zone concept, that outside quarter is going to match on corner routes. Thing is, this safety will start matching too, so you want to change him. You don't want to leave him on an inside quarter. You either want to put him on an inside third if you think a skinny post is coming from the solo side, or you put him in a deep half if you don't think a skinny post is coming. So now they can't run a corner out now. Now the corner out is not going to be there. You're going to see what's going to happen is that outside quarter is going to just be sitting there waiting. You see how he's just waiting to just match onto that corner route. He's just looking at him, waiting and ready to go. So those are the two options, man. You can either go match, and you really don't have to go full out match. You can change some of your other zones. You really just want the zone that's going to match the corner route. So you put the outside quarter there, and then the rest of your zones, put regular zones out there, thirds and halves and clouds and purples and stuff like that. And that's how you can kind of take away a lot of that. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit too, Cole. Famous Carlito. Hey, Scorps, no problem, man. Scorps Z out, no problem at all, bro. Famous Carlito. Need help with my 335 wide. It doesn't stop shit. In the red zone, I play CFM. I run Mike Blitz and put my linebackers in hard flats. Okay. One thing you can do, blitz a little bit more, Carlito. That's one thing you can do. Send 5 people more. And you're running cover 0 the whole time. So if you're running Mike Bliss O doesn't even align correctly. That's one of the things I'm not the biggest fan of, is the fact that Mike Bliss O just does not align correctly. So what I mean by that, your slot cornerback aligns on the opposite side that he's supposed to, and you can't flip the play. You cannot flip the play at all. You gotta, you just can't, and he just lines up in the wrong side. So I think that's one of your first mistakes, is not to run Mike Bliss O. Mike Bliss O is kind of just broken. I would honestly much rather you run 2-man under, and then if you want to turn it into Mike Bliss O, you can do that. Like so. So at least you got all of your defensive backs on receivers instead of a guy on a running back. All right. And so you can give this look. You can definitely give this look. And try to take away some of the zone. Take away like the underneath with the little purples or hard flats or whatever you put out there. But your opponent's going to get used to this, and you don't have any help deep. And so that's one thing you can possibly give up big plays unless you are just taking it upon your user to take away all of the big plays, which is fine too. But one thing I would say, all right, every now and then, blitz them, send 5, send the contain, and make sure you get some pressure on the quarterback. That way, try get the little loop, get some pressure on the quarterback. Do that too. So mix it up is what I'm trying to say. Don't just send 2 or 3 people with zones the entire game. And then also, I would probably say mix in, maybe not even the 2-man under, maybe try the cover one robber, because that one looks like zone. And so then every now and then you can sprinkle in zone as well. You can sprinkle in cover 3, Mike Bliss 3, or cover 4, or cover 2 sync, and all 4 of those are going to look similar. It's going to be hard for your opponent to really tell which coverage you're in when you go from each one. And so now you can kind of throw your opponent off a little bit more. So that's what I would tell you to do, is get out of Mike Bliss 0, run cover 1 robber, and make it look like Mike Bliss 0, like man up the safeties, on the people just like how they are in Mike Bliss 0, and then put your linebackers in zones. You can do that. I think that will be a better option for you. And then that way you can mix it up and throw your opponent off a little bit more. Any suggestions or recommended video to watch for somebody who don't know anything on defense like formations? One thing I would say is definitely, if you're not subscribed to this channel, this HuddleGG YouTube channel, subscribe. Go back and watch even videos from last year's Madden and see and just watch some of them, because some videos and some tips apply year in and year out. Some tips aren't just year specific. It might feel like it's year specific, but it's not. Like the video where I put on breaking down how to read coverages, that video is going to work in every Madden. Like, you're going to be able to tell coverages and be able to read coverages in every single Madden if you go and watch that video. So if you have not watched that video, go watch it. I know it's not a defensive video, but that I'm just using that as an example. And then as far as defense, I can't think of anything off top of mind. Another thing I would say do is try to get on Twitch. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people live streaming Madden on YouTube as well, but I can't point to anyone off the top of my head on YouTube live streaming. But one, come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Bugatti Bugs. Whether I'm live or you want to watch a past broadcast, you can see I'm always willing to answer questions and stuff like that. Join my Discord, join the Huddle Discord. That's another great place to be able to get questions answered. Definitely in the Huddle Discord, guys are always answering questions in the Huddle Discord. But like I said, if you want to be able to reach out to somebody like me, I'm always willing to answer questions as well. But I can't point to a specific video though. I can't think of anything off the top of my mind. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. Okay, yeah. Jameer said check out nickel triple on current gen. That'll work. Has anyone figured out how to formation shift? No, Del Monte. When you figure it out, please fly that in to me, because I need to know myself. If somebody figure that out, that will be the greatest find of all time. How do you stop that motion to the wide receiver that get them open down the field type offense? I'm not sure what you mean. When it comes to, all right, so here's what I'll say. Typically, motions to get people open are for man coverage defenses. People don't want their guys to get man pressed and different things like that. So that's typically what people Raiders. Yeah, I'm on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm on my Twitch. I'm on the HuddleGG YouTube channel and the HuddleGG Facebook channel right now live. But yeah, typically when they're motioning people, it's to kind of beat man coverage so they can get their guys unbumped and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Stanley, so you'd have to be a little bit more specific. One more thing out of gun bunch verticals. The outside receiver always beats my deep blue. Okay, so you're talking about the wheel route. Well, the thing is, here's the thing about the wheel route. Here we go with verticals. I'm assuming you're talking about this. And the reason why is because the deep path doesn't go all the way out to the sideline for that. So you're not going to be able to stop that with a deep path. So you have to have an outside third. So if you want to take that away, you either have to have big nickel adjustments where you can put your safety in the outside third, or you're just going to have to put that cornerback in the outside third, and that's how you're not going to give it up. If you anticipate verticals coming up, you have to put an outside third out there in order for him to be in position to make a play on that ball. That's the only way. You can't rely on your safety in the deep half, so you gotta have. So you're gonna have to cover 3 the side of the bunch side if you want to take that away. I'm looking for a good play out of the Texans playbook where I can get either my tight end or my number 1 receiver posted up in the red zone against single coverage. Against cover 2 with the user in the middle of the field for the 10-yard. So you're looking for a red zone dot at the 10-yard line. That's what. Okay. So you're trying to use your red zone threat. All right, I'll go to that in a second. I'll come back to that. Shizzle. How do you a jump ball? Okay. Well, I mean, essentially, with a jump ball, you can. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let me go to the HuddleGG website. Let me see what's in Texans playbook, and then I will give me a quick second to look at the Texans playbook so I can kind of give you an idea. But you're going to want to look for like a deep crosser or something like that, or a deep post or a deep dig route. But you're saying in the corner of the end zone. So you're looking for the corner of the end zone. I would try that double dig play out of double Y off. It's called double dig out of double Y off. I would probably try that. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to it, Ashizzle. I'll come back to it. That way I can show you. Because I don't want to leave out of this playbook just yet. No, I do not play PC. The Blues baseline or no? What do you prefer? I prefer baseline. If I'm gonna play defense, I prefer baseline. I like my cornerbacks to be like baseline and push all the way out to the sideline, those outside corners, because they typically play a lot of those corner routes and crossers a whole lot better when they're baseline versus when you're on default and they're just aligning over the top of the receivers. You know, unless you're going against like a spread set. Spread set, I'm cool with not going baseline. But anything compressed like a bunch or tight or anything like that, you want to be able to slow down some of those corner routes and stuff like that. You want to have those cornerbacks aligned outside. I'm a baseline 100% of the time type of guy. Like 100% of the time type of guy. The weakness of 4-3 even, it doesn't have wrong controller. It doesn't have that many defensive backs. So you're weakened. You don't have a slot cornerback that can man up on a slot receiver. You don't have people that you can, man up on slot receivers and stuff like that. Because typically when you're manning people up, like if you're running zone defense and you want to man people up, typically you're going to man up the interior guys. You're not going to man up the outside cornerbacks, the safeties and stuff like that. Sometimes you'll man up the safeties if you're getting kind of funky with your coverage. But for the most part, you don't have anybody that can man up on Godwin right here. Like I can man this guy up on Godwin, but that's a linebacker versus a receiver. He's going to get torched. He's going to get toasted consistently. But so that's really the thing, like just lack of defensive backs, and that's just one of the things you have to live with. And also the fact that if you run like cover 3, let's say we run in like cover 3, right? We run in cover 3. That linebacker doesn't get to the sideline as fast as the defensive back will. And the linebacker does not animate the same way a defensive back will. So if they're on offense, right, and they put an out route here, that linebacker just does not get there as fast. I mean, the cornerback pressed him, but if there's no press and he gets free release, an out route is just wide open. So like that's the thing. Like linebackers just don't. That's the limitations of it. You don't have defensive backs out there that can get to a lot of certain passes. So that's the only thing you're really kind of sacrificing. Aside from that, I mean, you just live. Every defense has a weakness, so it's just like which weakness are you willing to tolerate? That's really what it comes down to. What weaknesses are you willing to tolerate? but that's the biggest thing. The linebackers, they don't animate and they don't get out as fast. Is tight offset tight end a good formation? Yeah, it can be a good formation. It can be a good formation. I mean, it has, corner routes, and then it's compressed, so you can put, if you got a hot route master or if you got slot apprentice receivers, you can put crossing routes on the field, so that makes it solid. Then you have a inside zone, then you have a trap, so you have options. You have options that you can go to with that formation that makes it a viable formation. Do I think it's the best offense? No, but I do think that it has components to it to be an effective offense. It can be an effective offense, and that's really, and if you're comfortable in it, cool. No, PC and console cannot play together. Mangus, the best way to help you making deeper throws is for you to force yourself to throw the ball deep. Play more games, play weekend. It's weekend league time. Go on weekend league and say, you know what? I'm going to go to the next 3 games and I'm only going to look deep. I'm going to stop trying to get the ball out of my hands fast and I'm just going to look deep. You got to train yourself for that. So the best way for you to do that is go out there and throw some deep balls, make some reads on deep balls, and then go back and rewatch, the post game highlights and see like what mistakes you made, what happened on the defense, like why, you know what I mean? Like just go rewatch yourself and see what happened, and then that's the best way to do it. Force yourself to go into a game and not dink and dunk. If you go into it and just dink and dunk every game, you're not going to change. You're not going to change your stripes. So that's one thing. When it comes to inside zone, what you have to do is, one, there's always like gap shoots and stuff like that. So one of the things you can do is like here. So like I'm about to do inside zone split right here. It's little ways you have to do. You can shoot the gap. A lot of times with inside zone, the direction of inside zone going. Inside zone is going to the right. It's going to the opposite direction that the running back is standing on every time when it's a shotgun inside zone. And so a lot of times you want to kind of stand off to the side, maybe stand, right over the top of where the running back is standing, and then, kind of swoop in and try to shoot that gap. That's typically how you would stop inside zone, or you would stand on the opposite side of them, right? Right there, I couldn't shoot. And I think because I have myself in a blitz angle, I need to take myself out of a blitz angle because I know I can shoot inside zone from this formation, from it 4-3 even. And so that's another thing. It depends on the defense you're running. I don't know what defense you run, Gino, so that's all dependent on that. But right now I'm in 4-3 even, and I'm doing this with 2 controllers in my hand. Right there, I was able to shoot it and swoop in. It depends, but that's like the general theory and rule of thumb with any defense. You're going to kind of stand off to the side. You don't want to stand directly in front of a lineman. You don't want to have your user in a blitz angle. You want to kind of stand in a way to where you can kind of swoop in, allow them to start picking up their blocks, and then you swoop in behind them. You see, I swoop in behind them before he can see me. Then boom, I'm right here in the backfield. So it really kind of depends on stuff like that. So it depends on the defense you're running on how to stop it. But that's the general rule of thumb. You want to stand either on the side that the run is going to or the same side the running back's at, and then shoot in. Every now and then with certain defenses, you can stand like right over the center, and then like as soon as you hike the ball, you'll be able to just shoot straight down. I don't know if that applies for this defense here. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Nope. Center came right towards me. But, it depends on the defense you're running. It really does, Gino. Why are halfback tosses seem so weak? Because it just takes so long for the running back to get the ball in his hand, Philly Jedi. And then it's like by the time the running back gets the ball in his hands, the defense just rallies to the ball. They just rally to the ball, and it's like you're just unable to just really make a play. No, I don't play football, geeks. Stanley. Hey, Buzz, what I mean is I see players keep on motioning the wide receivers on the pre-snap, and then when they snap the ball, the slot receiver get open. Stanley, once again, that would depend. I don't know what coverage you're running. So like it's so many different reasons why a person will motion out. Because sometimes you motion because you're trying to create more space between your routes. So maybe I have let me show you the example. I mean, wrong controller. Let me show you the example that I mean on why you would motion them out. You're saying that the slot receiver would get open. It depends. Maybe you're running match, and the reason why they're motioning them out is because when they motion out a guy, what it does, it changes your match responsibilities. So that's not that they're glitching your coverage out. It's changing the responsibilities of each defender on the field. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of running match a lot. And I'm not saying you're running match, but I'm taking the guess that you probably are based off of what you're saying. Once you change the positions and the alignments of a formation, it changes the responsibilities of your match coverage. So that has a huge impact on how your defense will play. So that's one thing. So that's if you're running match. But another thing is when people motion, it's not always it's for different reasons. So like right here, look at this combo right here, right? I have a post, a drag, and a slant. If I just hike this ball like so, my drag and my slant are both right next to each other, playing patty cake. So that will never be a great combination. Now, if I do the same exact route combination, but I motion him out like so, hike him late and delay, now you see the spacing. Obviously, I just threw a pick, but it's a much different spacing on that combination now. Now my drag and my slant, a user can't sit between both routes and guard both of them now when I space them out and motion them out. So there's always different reasons why you will motion out and utilize motioning. A lot of times it's to create spacing for your routes. Sometimes it might be because you're going against match coverage, and so you're motioning to change the match responsibilities and try and get somebody open. If you are running match and you see that they let their guys set, then you might want to start changing your coverage in the middle of that play, because now they're trying to change the responsibilities of your match coverage, and then that now it's on you to make a few adjustments to your defense so that it does not beat you over the top. Famous Carlito, no, I really don't like blitzing my user on this Madden for the reason of, one, last year's Madden, you had to blitz your user because you ran so slow when you were in the zone, and your user would glitch out. But also, by blitzing your user in every Madden, even last year's Madden, it made it to where the offensive line will pick you up more often. And Lawson, man, how you doing this morning? You all right, bro? The main live I'm not sure. Raiders. But yeah, when you blitz your user, it just makes the lineman, because they now recognize you as a threat. So once they recognize you as a threat, they're going to target you. So by putting yourself in a zone, you are not a threat of towards the line. So that's the reason why you want to, especially when you know they're running the ball, then you want to take yourself out of a blitz angle and put yourself in a zone. It makes it to where you're more invisible. It makes you a little bit more invisible. The question that matters is Michigan beating Ohio State today. I mean, does a zebra wear stripes? Big Kari, what are your base drops on defense when you start the game? I put my flats on 30, my hooks on 5, and my crow flats on 5. That's where I'll start, and and then from there I'll kind of tinker them as I see what plays they like to call. As I see each play they like to call, I might tinker them a little bit. I may change that 30 down to 20, or I may change it to 25 or whatever. It just depends on the opponent. And then if they're really kind of having success against all that, then I might change it down to default. I might go default. Some people don't like to go against default, but I generally start with 35 and 5. How do you stop bunch tight end streak post rollout? Oh, so the way you gotta have your zone drop set, Lucky J, and then you gotta have an inside quarter over the tight end. You gotta have an inside quarter over the tight end and shade over the top. And I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what I mean. Let me get the playbook. Or you can run like cover 4 drop, Lucky, and then change the rest of your zones. So like have 2 inside quarters at safety. You can change your zones and stuff like that. But those inside quarters are going to play it a whole lot better. Best defense to stop jet sweeps. Cover 4 or cover 2. Either one of those two you can make. Either one of those will work for stopping jet sweeps. Both of them are going to be pretty good for good run defenses. You're going to have good run fits from either the cornerbacks or the inside quarter. You want it on the tight end side. So wherever the tight end is, Lucky, because if they flip the bunch tight end, then the tight end can be on the left side on one play, and then he can be on the right on another. So wherever the tight end is, that's where you want him to be. Bro, honestly, Mert, that is the greatest idea ever. I need to just make a custom playbook that has every formation, because I'll be having to back in and out of formations and stuff. You're right. I need to do that. That's a good idea, Mert. Every now and then you'll have a good idea, Mert. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? What do you mean with zone drops on? No, you have to have zone drops on. Brent. You gotta have zone drops on. Because if you don't have zone drops on, then your inside quarter. See, Brent, you really don't listen all the time. You have to have zone drops on. Because if you don't, then what's gonna happen is that inside quarter is gonna start matching. If you put inside quarters or out, you put inside quarters on your safeties in this Madden. If you don't have zone drop set, then what will happen is your zone drop, that inside quarter will start matching on people. And you don't want that, because now it's going to be completely wide open. I cannot set my zone drops because I'm not in a regular game. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pick cover 4 drop, since I know it's not going to match. All right. 3-5 wide is most definitely worth running. It's really good. It's still one of the best defenses, if not the best defense on the game. Okay. So what happens is, if you got zone drops on, your inside quarter is going to do what this inside quarter does, and you'll just shade up. But one of the cover, honestly, this isn't a bad coverage that you can do. Let's say you have like your cloud flats on 30, your purples on 5. This right here isn't bad adjustments to go against bunch tight end right here. This adjustment right here isn't bad. Now what they'll be able to do is throw it late to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? And if you are, so let's say and I didn't have my 30s either, but let's say they do that, right? You can do this. You can put B on a outside third, have your inside quarter. You can depap this guy flat there, like so. Now, that same lane that was there won't be there. So the adjustment I just did I would have done the last adjustment I just did. I would do if I was blitzing them. If you're not blitzing them, you want to have a third on that cornerback over there, right? Because now that lane isn't there, and the cornerback can get there. The inside quarter is going to be there enough to where that lane isn't going to be there. So that would be like the best adjustments to try to take that one away. That makes sense? Yeah, the cornerback was in the outside third. The cornerback was in the third. All right. Let me see what other questions we got. Yeah, because that'll bomb cover 3 as well. Yeah, it won't stop. It won't stop him sideline. So you kind of got to have a combo coverage. Because if you just do like, let me see. Let me do a cover 3. Even with this third here, I'll bring him all the way over here. He's still not going to do anything, right? This thing really just bombs everything. That third just sits so low where it's just a lane for them to just drop the post right in there. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, I mean, you can, if you did go cover 3, you can like take your third and put him all the way over here, you know what I mean, and try to make him, give him a step on the post already, but then you're super vulnerable in this area of the field, up the seams and stuff like that. So it's kind of a give and take, but I think the best way to guard it and never have to worry about it is, one, if you have a cover 4 drop, you can already kind of set your defense up like so. Put a deep half on this side. You got your inside quarter. Boom. You're not going to match. So you got a 5-yard purple here going to guard the flats. 30-yard flat going to guard deep corner outs and stuff like that. Only thing you got to worry about is a crosser going to the right. You can kind of guard that yourself a little bit if you see it. And these are solid adjustments. Or you can man the post up with your slot receiver. That's a slot defensive back. That's another option too. Man them up, and that'll take away that too. Yeah, and then send pressure. Don't give them time. Bunch tight end, for some reason, that play action on this play, we giving them so much time for some reason. So that's definitely a pain point as well. Any last questions? We got 5-minute warning. Fire away. Rapid fire time. Stanley, I see you typing in the Discord. Oh yeah, let me go back to my man's Shizzle's play. Let me go to his play. Let me go in. Yeah, we're gonna go to Shizzle's play while I wait on. Who has red zone threat and regs? Anybody know? Top of mind. Red zone threat. Matter of fact, I think he got red zone threat. Whatever his name is. Adams, yeah. All right, so we got Houston Texans. No, I'm not in the 4-6-1 right now. I'm messing with the 3-3-5 wide. I think you said against cover 2. But let's just say we going against me in the red zone, right? My man's Frostbite, how we living, man? You all right? Oh, that corner route is shorter than I thought it was. All right, it's shorter than I thought it would be. But let's see what happens. Honestly, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm not the biggest fan of any chucking, any like route where I gotta like kind of rely on my guy to highball something and I can possibly throw a pick. It sounds great in theory though. In theory, it sounds like a good idea. But it's a recipe for throwing picks. But it's your prerogative. All right. So one thing you can do is put a. I don't know if you have a route apprentice on them, but you can do something like this, where like put him on a C route, and then once he gets to the back of the end zone and turn around, highball it to him, because he's going to get to the back of the end zone, right? Or if you have a play, let's find a play that has a C route. You see he'll turn around. He just kind of sits. And then you highball. If he's one-on-one, we know what he's going to do. So let's just see if they got a play that has a C route. They don't have it in that formation. You might be able to go to gun bunch. All right. Gun bunch, corner strike. Let's try corner strike. Yeah. Try corner strike. He's gonna hit to the back of the end zone, and then once he hits there, he's gonna turn around. That would be what I would do. Shizzle. A C route. Use a C route. He's gonna hit that back of the end zone in the back pylon, and you see he's gonna turn around. Obviously, I'm getting shedded. It's practice mode, but just you want a deeper C route. So you see how deep this C route is. You want the one where you can't even see the full C. You want it to be like that, to where once it hits to the back of the end zone, it kind of like the route, the play art disappears a little bit. You want that look. Yeah, play with the C route and just highball it. As soon as he gets to the back of the end zone and starts to turn around, that's when you want to highball it. You're going to have to just get in practice mode and mess with the timing, so that way, your timing is right on it. How do you stop fullback dive in the red zone? Run commit. Goal line run commit. Yeah, that's the one I like to do, is goal line run commit. When sending pressure for 35 wide, is it best to spread D line? Yes, I spread defensive line when I run it. Oh my God, Brent, I'm not gonna deal with your trolling today. I'm not. But I think the best thing you do is spread D line. Spread D line and contain. It's one of your best options. It gets the best pressure. But sometimes pinching is necessary. Sometimes pinching is necessary, just for the simple fact that you will have to stop some runs and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to pinch so you can stop the runs. Julio. I ain't want to say your last name because I was gonna butcher it, bro. But what you want to do is go back and rewatch the past broadcast for this. We talked about inside zone. Also get the ability inside stuff. That will also stop inside zone for you. If you put that ability on there, that will stop it for you. They'll just shed. But rewatch the past broadcast. We kind of talked about how to stop inside zones. Best ability on Robbie Anderson, slot apprentice. Do you prefer to shade up or down in man coverage? I prefer no shade, Jonas. I feel like no shade is the best shade. I feel like when you shade down, too often the receivers just destroy the defensive backs off the press. And then shade up is just so everything is open. Like drags are open, everything is open because they're shading over the top. They're playing real conservative so that they don't get beat over the top. However, shade up has more. If I got to pick between the two, I prefer shade up. If I got to pick between shading up and shading down, I prefer shade up. If I want to press, I'm going to do no shade at all. I feel like that's the best shade. And then if I want to play a little bit more conservative, you really only shade up when you don't have help over the top. You shade up when there's no safeties deep, when you're playing a cover zero defense. When you're playing aggressive, when you want to press, you either are going to have help over the top or you're blitzing. S'more. All right, this is the final question. I'll answer that one. Best defense to run 3-3-5 wide. S'more. That is the best defense to run 3-3-5 wide. And you can get it's in a lot of playbooks. Go to HuddleGG, click the playbooks tab, and click 3-3-5 wide, and it will tell you each playbook is in. I like the 4-6 playbook, but I also like the Chicago or Tampa Bay playbook as well. So, Lil Dave, I already answered the question. 3-3-5 wide though. I think because you can stop the run. You can stop the run, and it's pretty solid pass defense. And the fact that you can audible from 3-3-5 normal to 3-3-5 wide and have safeties at linebacker and 3-5 wide, that makes it even better. So now you got more defenders out there that you can put out there to play coverage, and more defensive backs that you can man people up on. Which mode would you give me the best opportunity to play against pro? Which mode would you? Mutt, Stanley. Play Mutt. Or if you're gonna play regs, you gotta get in some of these tournaments, like Players Lounge tournaments and different things like that, if you want to get opportunities to play against pro players. But just playing on regs leaderboards, you aren't going to play any pros. If you want to play pros on for free and just on leaderboards and play now, whatever it's called, and just search, then what you need to do is get on Mutt. But yeah, guys, that's today's office hour session. Hopefully all your questions were answered. Hopefully y'all got better today. And if you did not, then it's not my fault. It's Stanley's fault. All right. Blame Stanley. Best offensive run, Philadelphia or Colts playbook. Same thing. Bunch offense, gun bunch. But in all seriousness, like I said, man, y'all have a good Saturday, man. Enjoy your Saturday. And I'll catch y'all later. I got some things I need to tend to today. Lucky J. But like I said, I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. If you're in the YouTube channel, make sure you go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BugattiBugs. That's the place you can find me. Also, follow me on Twitter as well. That's another place where you can find me. Twitter something /Boogstuff. But like I said, I love y'all, man. Enjoy your Saturday.